Hey guys, it's San and welcome back to the BulbaSquad. So today, I know I'm a little late, but we're going to talk about Logan Paul. Okay? I talked about him once before whenever he initially came into the hobby and made some predictions on what would move in the market, and I thought maybe I should do that again, but decided, you know what, no. We're going to have a discussion today. I see recently in the hobby there's a lot of anger and frustration and a lot of hot heads right now that Logan Paul is coming back into the game. People are very upset, and a lot of people are very happy, and so I thought, let's have a discussion about this. Because, quite frankly, I don't think there's too many reasons to be angry. Um, this doesn't make a difference, okay? Logan Paul coming back into the hobby isn't going to suddenly make the product disappear more than it already has. It's already been disappearing. Logan Paul coming to the hobby isn't going to destroy Pokemon for the future. It's not going to do anything all that negative. All it Logan Paul coming into the hobby, in my opinion, is a net positive, because at the end of the day, the hobby is growing because we're still getting audience from his side, where a bunch of them have no exposure to Pokemon, and our cards are appreciating. Okay, those of us who have already been in the game, we're making money out of this, okay? Basically, any item that you see in my background is just appreciated by default because of him. Okay? You can love that, hate that, but that's the truth. If you haven't been in the hobby for too long, it does kind of suck because it just makes things harder to reach, but just wait. After any form of growth in the market, there's always a little bit of a pullback. The difference is how much that pullback is. But if you want to collect something, like really collect it, just buy it whenever you want. Just acquire it, okay? You just pay the market. It doesn't matter if it goes down, if it goes up, because it's going to sit in your collection. And because it's going to sit in your collection over time, it's usually going to appreciate so long as the hobby keeps growing healthily, okay? The big complaints I've been seeing, and I wanted to talk about them, is first, people keep complaining about having to change their collection goals. And I wanted to talk about that. That's okay. That's just part of being in the hobby. Even if you were in this hobby before this big boom happened, you still didn't have enough time to collect everything. Straight up. It was expensive to collect everything you wanted. It was time consuming. You had to be here for years and years. Like I know Tony GLX. He's a friend of mine. He has a full Neo Shining set. I think he started collecting that 4 or 5 years ago now. And yeah, that's why he was able to get it. For my case, I was collecting some stuff last year and wanted to complete some sets. It blew up, not able to get any more. Oh well. But that's okay. Let your collection goals change. If you can no longer collect vintage, maybe try collecting some modern. Maybe try collecting Japanese unnumbered promos. For example, we would be talking vending series, various little forms of, I guess, trophy cards, kind of like the Pika medals. Maybe Japanese exclusive promos, things like that. Maybe even Japanese sets, okay? Maybe Japanese unlimited Neo sets. Things like that. There's always something to collect in the hobby. There's always something affordable. Like, let me give you a perfect example. Sorry, I didn't have this ready because I wasn't planning to grab stuff. Something like this, okay? This is a PSA 10 World Hobby Fair Dark Persian. Or Rockets Persian EX. This is honestly not that expensive. It's one of my own personal collection goals, just World Hobby Fair cards. Not that expensive. No one's paying attention to them. No one cares. You could easily buy raw copies of these things. And they're pretty. So just switch up your goals, okay? Next, it's impossible to enjoy the hobby because there's so much stress, this one I understand. Shining Fates. For 4 months. Is it been 4 months? Yeah, 3, 4 months, 5 months. It's just been non-stop trying to grab pre-orders, trying to grab this stuff from anywhere you can get it. And it is stressful, and honestly, I got a little tired of it. But honestly, it's just an issue right now. That's not because Logan Paul's in the hobby. That's not because scalpers are here. Scalpers are here because there's an issue with supply, because there's so many of us trying to collect right now. Logan Paul just introduces a little more to the hobby, a few more people trying to collect and a few more scalpers. But at the end of the day, it didn't make all that much of a difference because the product was already struggling to get out there. Just take a look at breakers. Oh my god, have you guys seen breakers? Breakers are breaking anything they can. They're getting blister packs of Darkness Ablaze, blister packs of Vivid Voltage. They're getting Japanese, like, what would be a good one? They're getting like Japanese Vivid Voltage, breaking that. Japanese Cosmic, just anything they can get their hands on to break because people want to open. Say that's, whether you argue that that's because they're trying to make money, because there's just an opening spree or whatever, people want to open the product. And for that reason, scalpers came in here. Okay? And eventually it's going to calm down. Just give it time. If you feel like it's ruining the hobby, you're hating it, all this, honestly, I don't think you should be here. This hobby is going to go through this multiple times. This hobby is going to have supply issues again eventually whenever there's a big boom. Alright? Because whenever the original, what was it, Pokemon Go boom happened, there wasn't enough supply for a little while. Some sets went lower into supply, had more issues, and then later on boomed up. Okay? Just drawing a few connections for you guys. Now, you gotta adapt, okay? The big thing about this hobby is changing how you play in it. It's not a stagnant hobby. If it was a stagnant hobby, it would be dead. It would be so dead. Because it needs to change with the times to appeal to more people. So for that reason, we ourselves have to change with the times to try and keep our hobby passion alive. So, perfect example. These two I recently picked up. I had been chasing these for a while. I had just been busy investing like the entire time. Investing, flipping, doing things to try and generate money. Until finally I got enough money from buying and flipping stuff. Buying, holding, and eventually selling to be able to comfortably buy those two. Okay? To give you an idea, I paid $650. That was a big purchase for me for those two. Because I know for a lot of people, that is a big purchase. That's probably a month's worth of spare cash, not going out to do anything. Maybe even 2 months, depending on where you are. That is a lot of money. So, yeah, stuff is going up. You just got to get smarter. Buy your modern sets. Buy whatever it is you need to. Shining Fates is going to be a perfect opportunity. You buy it, you flip it, go to vintage, buy what you want. Maybe even buy something else that you think is worth investing. You need to adapt and accept that the hobby is not going to stay where you like it and where you're comfortable at. If you're saying that it's that it's inflated because you don't like the prices, like, come on, grow up. It's okay to be upset with the prices, but it's just no need to complain about it. Adapt. And that's essentially what I want to talk about. Just, it's not a bad thing that Logan Paul's here. Why? We want our cards to be worth money. It's a little annoying that it makes it harder to collect things, but that's just how life is. It's always going to be a little annoying. It's going to be changing up on you. You have to constantly adapt, and you have to figure out how to get from point A to point B, no matter how often point B changes. Okay? So, now that the price is going up, maybe consider buying stuff, flipping it, moving it around, buying some items, hold for like 6 months, a year, 2 years, however long you want to do, get rid of it, buy the other item you want. Okay? So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time.